Well, I'm pleased to be joined by a new Special Olympic athlete and her dad to 24 Hours Nothing But Net. This is Amy Bockerstette and her dad, Joe, who's an incredible caddy. Amy is a world-renowned golfer, and I'm so pleased that she could be with us on our live stream. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Hi, Debbie. Thanks for having us.
It's so great to see you guys. I met you a couple of weeks ago in Atlanta at the National Down Syndrome Congress fundraising golf event. And I was just obviously amazed and in awe because I'm familiar with your story, and it's an honor to meet you both. Share with us a little bit, Joe, about your story, and then we'll get to some questions about Amy.
You bet. So Amy started playing golf in 7th grade. We went to a charity scramble for her grade school, and I was playing with my older daughter and her husband, and we had a 4th open. So we invited Amy to come along, got her some snacks and drinks, and I bought her a child 7-iron and said, you can hit some shots if you want, but you don't have to. And we got out on the course, and Amy hit a few shots, and we looked at one another and said, holy cow, this girl can play golf. And really, that's how it started. So we came home, talked to my wife, Jenny, and decided to put Amy in golf lessons. And so her journey started just about 10 years ago with that scramble. She's been in golf lessons ever since, and still sees the same coach today, actually. And of course, the journey has just been an incredible series of events that have sort of gotten us to where we're at today.
I have watched Amy swing a golf club. I've watched her knock some shots in all kinds of clubs, hitting her fairway woods farther than I can. I mean, I don't know about you, Joe, but I don't know if she's out driving you yet, but she's got to be getting close.
Well, so people often ask me if Amy's ever beat me in a round of golf. And my answer is she'll never know because I keep score.
That's a great
And you're
answer.
good with that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she doesn't mind.
Amy, can you outdrive your dad on the golf course?
No, he is my father.
Yeah, he hits it pretty far, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Amy, what is your favorite thing about playing golf?
My feeling about golf is when I love hanging out with the girls, my teammates. I'm on coach teams actually at Paradise Valley Community College. It was so much fun to meet the teammates. I have new friends there, also amazing, incredible. I really like them so much.
So we really think
great
of golf
teammate.
for Amy as a ticket to a broader friendship, right? Amy plays golf in order to meet people, in order to make new friends. You saw that in the scramble a couple of weeks ago with the National Down Syndrome Congress. She loves playing with others. She loves clowning around with others on the golf course, telling stories, singing songs. And, it's the friendships that really have been the coolest part of this. She's really had access to a social population of women and girls and guys that really has just been life-changing for her and us.
Well, it's really life-changing for all of us because people see Amy and see what a good athlete she is, and they're naturally drawn to her because it's shocking that she can hit the ball as far as she can. Whether she has Down syndrome or not, that's not even the point here. The point is that she's a young woman who can knock the snot out of the ball, and it's fun to watch. So I would imagine that she's a really good teammate and really enjoys playing with her teammates. Amy, tell me what your college experience was like as a college athlete.
Yes, I love to be a college athlete, and then coach them also. Paradise Valley is wonderful college team, friends, besties, and so glad to be part of that. I used to get a college scholarship also. So I got anyway, and I got in. I'm so glad to be part of the college. So happy.
So her athletic director at Paradise Valley Community College. We have lots of great stories, but one of the ones that means the most to us is one of the, she played in nationals in Florida in 2021 with her college team, first person with Down syndrome to do that. And somebody asked the athletic director, what was it like to have Amy on their team for 4 years? And her answer was, she's the only athlete she's ever had in her program who other teams say they wished she was a teammate of theirs. Right, that she had so much impact and made so many friends with other girls on other teams that they really felt like in a few cases they'd adopted Amy as one of their teammates. And she was, she's such a great joy to have playing and around, and cheers for everybody and loves to laugh and sing. And you just can't have a bad round of golf playing with Amy.
No, I believe that 100%. And I could see why there might be some recruiting activity taking place on the road by some others that would love to have Amy on their team. I would love to play a round of golf with Amy one day when we could play a whole round, not just mess around. This is the 50th anniversary of Title IX, and when I was 13, I realized that girls played basketball in college and that you could get a scholarship to do it. And I'm watching Amy's story with Gary Woodland in the Phoenix Western Open, and listening to you and your wife, Jenny, tell the story about how she got to play a hole, and how much you guys advocated for her, not just to hit a shot, but to play the hole, the entire hole with Gary Woodland. Tell us a little bit about that story, because that's how people really got to know Amy and saw her on the national stage and saw what a great golfer she is.
So what was it like to play the 16th hole with Gary?
Oh yeah, 16th hole is amazing time with Gary. Gary is an amazing guy. We are best friends, we're texting buddies, and we were at a two-day show. I heard this trophy with Gray trophy, and as he said, we want this together.
Yeah, so Gary's a great example of what we call Amy's village, right? Like I could go on, there's many, many, many stories of where folks stepped up to advocate for Amy and really enabled something happen that was, far greater than we might have imagined. So when the PGA Tour was looking to reach out to the community, and they reached out to the local Special Olympics organization, and they approached us, the original idea was just walk a hole. I don't think that the PGA Tour at that point had yet conceived the idea that a Special Olympics athlete could actually play the hole in front of, several thousand folks in that stadium, that arena type venue. And we went back to them and said, she's a golfer. We sent a resume, we sent videos, we made the case that Amy could play. And to his credit, Gary Woodland watched the video, read the material, and agreed to let Amy play the hole. Now, obviously, from the video, you saw that there weren't great expectations for what she might do, right? Originally, as Gary said many times after that, he was just hoping she hit the ball off the tee. Like, the expectation, you're in a big arena, you got lots of folks looking down on you, lots of pressure. Let's just hit a tee shot and move the ball down the course, right? And so she hit a tee shot, and actually we were disappointed because it went in the sand. They were all ecstatic because it went down the course. And when they got to the sand shot, Gary never imagined she would want to hit a shot. That's a tough sand shot, right? And again, you're in front of thousands of people, and we all know sand shots can go horribly awry. And Gary's like, I'll take that out for you. You don't need to hit that. And Amy's like, no, I got this. Because if you know Amy, you know that she's determined to follow through on something she started, right? And so, of course, she made the sand shot she made to about 10 feet. And everybody in the arena was a bit shocked at that point, including Gary and John Wood, the caddy, who you see on the video. And at that point, honestly, we were pretty nervous ourselves. That's a tough shot, and you don't make that 80% of the time. You don't hit that well of a sand shot, right? But once you hit the sand shot, you knew she would make the putt because you just had this sort of serene feeling that this was her moment and this was something that was meant to be. So you see her take a deep breath when Gary says, you know, going a little left, she says, I got this. She took a moment to collect herself and then obviously put the putt in, and our lives changed with that moment. It's not been the same since.
Yeah, I got this became a famous saying, not just for you guys, but for the creation of your foundation and what you've gone about doing to try to help other families. That's what we're trying to do in our driveway. We're on the same page here, Joe. My husband Frank and I, and you and Jenny, along with Amy and our son Frankie. We're just trying to help other families like ours see some hope and some inspiration, raise some money, and give them a chance. You're using golf, I'm using basketball as the vehicle, but it's very similar. When Amy is at that crazy wild Western Open where anything goes anyway, and she's having the time of her life out there, what are you and Jenny thinking while you're listening to this crowd of people just screaming Amy's name?
Yeah, it was a bit overwhelming at the moment. It went by very fast. Of course, I'm, you know, being her caddy most days, I'm stressed over the club she's using and whether she's going to hit the shot. And, you know, and then I remember saying to myself after she hit the sand shot, she's going to make that putt. You just knew she was going to make that putt. Now, when it was all over, it was a great, great moment. Lots of energy in the crowd, lots of high fives. We were all very, very excited. And honestly, we thought the moment was over. Like, we had forgotten that she and Gary were mic'd up. We had forgotten that this was all being videotaped for the purpose of creating a social media moment. And so we were tired. We were thrilled. We felt like this was, you know, our 15 minutes was over. And then we woke up the next morning and got a video shared with us about 10 a.m., saw what the PGA Tour had done with that video, turned to one another and said, oh man, this is not over, right? And that video today is somewhere over 60 million views, the most watched video in PGA Tour history, and still continues to get views. The tour put it out with the Phoenix Open this past February, and it got another 5.5 million views, and it's 4 years later, right? So it's just, it's, you know, it's been an incredible journey. It's changed our lives. It continues to affect us, the impact it's had on others. I mean, we continue to have people talk about when they saw that video and what it's meant to them. So many people internalize that moment for themselves, either golfers who were afraid of that sand shot or parents of children with Down syndrome who sort of see another opportunity now for our children. Even I had a great story. A guy was going in for a job interview and he stopped himself before he went in and said, I've got this just like Amy. And then he went in and killed the interview and got the job. So there's just so many stories that fell out of that around what that moment's meant to folks.
I mean, I'm sitting here and there's so many emotions that are running through my mind because I'm sure you and Jenny were similar to Frank and I when we realized that Frankie had a chance to go to college, that could be a reality. And when they were born, that wasn't something we ever thought that could ever happen. And not only go to college, but Amy able to be a college athlete is just absolutely crazy good. It's so good. Amy, do you like to practice golf or do you just like to play?
I like both. I like practice, go to court, and also one thing it's not actually Night hole in Austin, Northern Ireland. I was the Zoom call named Brendan Loyal, and Brendan invited me to play golf at Northern Ireland Hotel. He supposed to be out with Southern, playing the horse pulling with Niall, opening a tee shot, but right now he was in voice. Actually.
So Amy has to work in her story of meeting Niall Horan, the One Direction singer, right? So
Of
he
course.
invited her to play in Northern Ireland last year. We were there a week. It was a fantastic event, and he was a really gracious host. And she got to meet him at a reception. She played golf with him. She hit the opening
Yes.
tee shot, played in the Pro-Am, played a practice round with some of the pros. It was just an extremely fun and exciting event. So I will have to do this, Debbie. Who do you want to meet next?
Nick Jonas.
Nick Jonas.
Right.
Anyone
She's
out
working
there
on
that
Nick
knows
Jonas
Nick
next.
Jonas, we got to connect Amy with Nick. It's got to happen. We all got to put it out
Yes.
there. Somebody knows him.
Yeah,
That's how you
exactly.
get that stuff done.
Yes.
Amy, are you ever nervous on the golf course?
No, I wasn't nervous. I was very excited.
Yeah, the bigger the moment, boy, the more likely she'll perform. So when you put a big crowd around her and she sees that, man, it's a good thing for her.
I wish you could give me a putting lesson because I could use one right now.
Yes,
What
yes.
kind of putter do you use?
We use an Odyssey putter, and
Okay.
she's working on a new putting technique that she just originally learned probably 6 weeks ago with her coach. So we're going to put it under competition stress next week. We're playing at the United States Disability Golf Association Open down in Port St. Lucie, Florida, and 3 days of competition. So we'll let you know how it goes. We've got high
Yeah.
hopes.
We will be recording and watching for her score. And when we run this interview, we will be sure to let everybody know how Amy did, because I
appreciate
know we're
that.
all, after watching this, you're going to get some more fans, I think. I definitely became a fan when I saw the video myself, and was just remarkable what you guys have been able to achieve together in your team, the Bockerstette.
It is a team for sure. It's a team in a village. And there have been just so many contributors to Amy's story, and folks that have, her career has not been a thoroughly planned out career. We sort of take it a day at a time and an opportunity at a time. And there's been great moments where folks have stepped up and just sort of shown us the next path on her journey. So it's been really thankful for the larger contribution folks have made to her life and her career.
Just absolutely remarkable. Kudos to you, Joe, and to Jenny, and especially to Amy for putting in all that hard work to help other people with special abilities see that you can do whatever you set your mind to, because you got this.
Yeah, if there's one thing we've learned most from Amy is never put limits on your children, because you just have no idea what they can accomplish.
Just a little 7-iron, Joe, in the fairway, just
Exactly,
messing around.
right.
I mean,
Yeah.
wow, that's awesome.
10 years later.
It's great. Well, I'm so grateful for your time. I'm so glad you could share your story with us. And I know it'll serve as inspiration for me when I'm in the driveway trying to make all those free throws for Special Olympics. And when people see that Special Olympics does help athletes train and compete and organize and gives players like Amy a chance to compete, I think they'll be interested in helping us out with our fundraiser for Special Olympics.
Well, thank you. We enjoyed it, didn't we?
Yes.
Yes.
Good job. Good luck in your event. And we'll be looking forward to following your success all along, Amy. We're pulling for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate
And
it.
if I run into Nick Jonas, I'll be sure to let him know.
Tell him where to turn. He knows how to
Yes.
get a hold of us. Okay.
Yeah, I know exactly where to get you. All right. Thank you so much.
Okay. You take care. Be well.